Okay, here's my sound preferences. I like a variety of different tunings, but really what gets my juices flowing, starting from the lower octaves, is in the bass. I like my bass punchy, tight, fast with a kick. I like a little bit of energy down there, maybe a little bit of warmth, but not too much getting into bass bleeding. It's got to have enough weight to make male vocals, make piano, cello, percussions, have the right tonality. When it comes to my mids, I do like my mids and mid clarity, but I don't like too forward a mid, so that's the upper mids I'm talking about. So keep the pinna gain down a little bit and not make it too forward a presentation. And when it comes to the highs, I do like my sparkly highs. At my age, I'm probably losing a little bit of the high frequencies. But not too much where it's sibilant and in your face. So that's what I like. Hello, welcome back. Tone Deaf Monk here. Hey, while I haven't been pumping out tons of videos, I've been busy. What I have been doing and why I'm calling this video the Non Canjam video is that I did not go to Canjam, but I have been busy and I've been meeting some great people, some audiophiles, some locals. And some product reps. And let me just talk about a little bit of the stuff that I've had the privilege of listening to, and I just wanted to share that with you. Some of the hits and misses I think that I've come across these days. Let me just start off by saying a couple things. I've been to countless audio shows, and one thing I can honestly tell you is they're horrible environments to actually get impressions upon. You're not in your space. You're not in your comfort zone. You have limited time, and there's lots of things going on around you that distracts you, pulls you away, doesn't let you completely immerse into what you're listening to, though they're fantastic to get samples, a taste of greatness, you might want to say. So when you're listening to and reading people's impressions of gear from shows. Again, they're just snippets of things that may have impressed you, but they're not great for doing reviews. And that's why I wouldn't do a review off of something I heard at a show, that's for sure. Or some of these meetups that we've had, you just simply don't have enough time, and you're not in the right, for me, headspace and environment to really enjoy and get a good impression of the gear. And some of the things that I listened to that I came away wowed with, the duality, fantastic. Right off the bat, you go, wow, that thing is amazing. I was listening to SHANLING's M8T, where I wanted to listen to this DAP too, and get an impression of it. Because I was hoping it was going to be a tubey sounding, warm sounding, M9 Plus replacement. I didn't get that. And I'm kind of finding that the SHANLINGs have moved away from the quite warm house sound signature that they used to have. And even with this tube hybrid DAP, it's sexy as hell. But again, I came away with just thinking that it's like the Canon N3 Ultra, just a much more expensive version of that, where it really didn't sound warm and tubey, though the tubes did add a little bit to that, but it wasn't like a big difference. So I think if you're looking for a tubey DAP, might not be the one to go with. I think the DX340 from Ibasso with different sound cards will probably be a better choice, and I'll know soon enough, actually, when I get those. So the other thing with that DAP that kind of stood out for me is how kind of plasticky and it felt with the volume control. It really felt cheap in compared to the DX340, I thought. Anyway, that was my quick impressions of that one, and let's get on to some other stuff here. And some of these meetups that we've been having are a ton of fun and dangerous. And I realize that as I'm a couple things, I still take great, how would I say this? I really enjoy some lesser expensive gear still after hearing some of the best, if not the best of the best. I just, did the CVJ Aria 2025. I like that. I mean, it's not expensive. The TRN shell, I find great value in that, and for what it belts out for musicality, excellent. Some people are snobs when it comes to that. I don't think I am, because I can appreciate that kind of stuff too. But after hearing some other gear, here's a couple pictures just to let you know of some of the stuff that was on the table available to hear. The Cord Dave. I mean, that thing is 20 grand. The Lobo Molinier. The Hi-Fi. These are some incredible sources. My DX340. I love that. To smithereens. Here I've got my little, and I was familiarizing myself with the stuff that I listen to as well in some of these listening impressions, and I got a chance to listen to this other fabulous gear that was available for me to listen to. So now let's just start off with a couple things that I thought was super interesting. So I recently did the Unique Melody MEST Mark II, and I came away with that thinking, it's a pretty great IM. I can see the hype in it. It wasn't for me. The upper mids are too recessed for my liking. But talking to these guys, there's some, again, we're all different in our taste, right? Some can hear noise in cables. I got a chance to hear the original OG MEST. And what I came across with is, why the hell did they change it? all the things that I didn't really like in the Mark II, and MEST Mark II, the OG was like, oh, wow, yeah, those mids sound fantastic. I can totally get the bone conduction. Yeah, I can totally get where that's coming from. The hollow mids that I thought on the Mark II were gone on the original. I understand that I think they changed that shell to a different, smaller shell. I get that, but the tuning is radically different, I think. I like the original very much better than the Mark II. I haven't heard the Mark III yet. I thought the top end still was a bit spicy for me, but again, some people love that in the top end. I think it was more extended, though, than it would be called sibilant. It was just really well done top end, probably more information than I personally like in my tastes. Next up, I got a chance to listen to the PMG Audio APX SE. Lots of hype on this one, and incredibly well-deserved. Very balanced, super clean, amazing bass. Absolutely. I wish I could spend more time with it, and I hopefully in the future will get a chance to it. It really is a standout I am. From my few songs that I managed to get into my ears. Just big smile on my face. Absolutely incredible. Some of these top tier IMs in the super kilobuck stratosphere pricing, some people say, and you hear that a lot, where diminishing returns. Well, I call bullshit on that, honestly, because if you can afford one of these things and you get great pleasure out of it, fantastic. What if you can get great pleasure out of a TRN shell for $30? Don't put those people down either. Really amazing. These guys that I'm hanging with also get that too. And I think that's why I hold a high regard for this bunch of audiophiles. They just love music, period. End story. What about this one? The Fugaku. Wow, that's what I wrote on my notes. I was playing Eden from Hani Arani, the lady with the piano with the multiple mics. I've never. This is an amazing. This is $17,000. It has the memes driver, and it has to be powered and equalized and crossovered electronically in order to make this work. So it's got its own little energizer pack. I've never heard its flagship level at all levels. It is absolutely amazing. It has a price tag that is like, that's probably more than the first 3 cars I've ever bought. But the strings that you could pick up, the resonances of the piano strings from that mic, I've never heard a better, more defined and realistic presentation. That's the only way I can describe that. Incredibly resolving. And then it's just an amazing IM. If you get a chance, if you are at one of these shows and you got a chance to listen to this gear, you just got to come away impressed. I mean, that's audio in a nutshell, right? I mean, I worked in a high-end boutique stereo store. How high do you want to go? How much money do you have, right? Is really the other thing. And then we got to listen to the full gamut of Beat Audio cables. Now, there's some of these cables that are over $8,000, the Valhalla. And you say to yourself, how it's a cable. And then there's the cable, non-believers, deniers, haters. And they're going to go, you're stupid if you just don't use the stock cable, and why then hell would you spend $8,000 on a piece of wire? Well, I can tell you that the Valhalla cable from Beat Audio is a masterpiece. Absolutely. I'm not going to say whether it was or not worth $8,000, but wow. Does it change the sound? Does it make everything that you put it on sound incredible? It does. Absolutely. Did I throw it on the Pula anvil? Yes, I did. So I made it what, an $8,060 cable? Having fun here. So smooth, so organic, so natural sounding, so black background. It was a killer cable. Yes, it's $8,000. And some of the less expensive ones I also got a chance to try, and I came away impressed. I really did. So one of those cable suppliers that I'm going to keep my eye on. If it can take your regular IM and put an extra 3 layers of depth and layering to the music, then hell yes. Super impressive. I had tons of fun, and I want to thank these guys for the opportunity, and I hope we get a chance to do some more. Next up is some other gear that I got a chance to listen to, and this was some prototypes, you might say, from LETSHOUER, and thank you for that opportunity as well. So I got to listen to the prototype for the new planar coming out from LETSHOUER, the S16, with the new 15mm planar they're developing. Looks like it's coming out with the same shell as the S12. This one's just in a plain kind of no-nonsense tester. It has the nice planar crispness. What my takeaway on this thing, a couple things, notes-wise that I wrote down, is that it's, and I didn't do an S12 2024 comparison side by side, but it sure had a lot of that DNA, that's for sure. Bass has some really nice bass, really dynamic driver, slower decay kind of thing going on with it, which did not sound like your typical too fast of decay planar bass. It was very, very nicely done. I was listening to Wishing You Hell from Taylor Akon. Okay, what I wrote was nice, actually great bass, very clean mids, nice tonality, not as punchy as I like. So some of the things that I do love about planars is I do love my bin bass and my speed and my punch and my slam, and I was wishing for a bit more. So not sure if that's the final tuning of that driver, but I like it, but I like the S12 2024 as well. So and that was off the DX340. And it was also nice off the Tap 1 Pro from Kai Designs. I like the added warmth that it added, taming of the top end. Again, I'm liking that little tube hybrid amp. I think that the S16 is going to be, if that's the final tuning, going to be more sub-focused in a planar than it would be for fast slam. So would it be great on rock? It would have the energy, but it probably wouldn't have the slam. It missing some of that mid-bass attack. They were huge power pigs as well. That's one thing I did take away from that. All planars are, kind of. Montero, Little Nas, I was listening to that on the DCE, then I threw it on that. Again, nice bass, full wrap, very authoritative bottom end, again, not the fastest. So, and then I got a chance to listen to this guy, and this one is an IM that's been in the works from LETSHOUER for, I understand, for a couple years, 2 years. Now, this is the EJ07 replacement. That is a legendary IM. Absolutely. It's called the Serenade, or it'll be called the Serenade. Now, this is probably not final tuning either. Has a unique driver config in this one. 2 dynamic drivers now, so completely different from the EJ07. 5 BAs and a planar. And I listened to this on the DCE as well. So I would say, yes, it has that EJ07 DNA where it had that really amazing stage. 3D going all around it was one of my things that I didn't like about the original EJ, or the kind of lava for sure, is that it was just too much information going on around me that it wouldn't immerse me into the music. And so again, keep in mind that this is not final tuning. Bass is terrific though. Terrific hits, deep punchy bass I came away with. A great combination of sub bass, mid bass attack, and that whole kind of mix, right? That blend of it was very nice. It didn't have just sub bass and then no mid bass. It had a great quantity of both in the right time, in the right space. So strings were standout, as are the mids. But the mids really do come forward in the mix. They're still quite nicely balanced. Like, there is still bass and there's lots of high end in the treble, but it's too vocal forward for me, too instrumental forward for me to be completely, to call it a more of a musical set. I wouldn't call it that. Treble is very detailed, very nicely layered, stood out with a great resolving nature. Instrumental, the ability to separate the vocal layer from instrumental was also, again, standout. This is going to be a pretty fantastic IM. Depends on the tuning, how it comes out in the final reiteration would determine whether I'd want to pick one up for myself or not. Really like the top end, very detailed, not sibilant, not harsh, very detailed though. Again, I love the 3D stage, the fast punchy bass. A rock IM, absolutely. On Aussie, no bone movies. The fantastic vocals. Again, a bit vocal forward for me. Not quite enough to get shouty, though. I was listening to Bees in the Trap by MEKII. Here's what I'm talking about, that 3D trippy stage. In the lower treble especially, it's all over the place with really cool spatial clues. I think for stage mongers, this is going to be a killer set. On the DX340 and then sending it out to the Tap 1 Pro, what did that do to this one? Well, it again makes the bass stand out, sweetens the mids up, tames down the top end quite a bit with some more vocal weight. I think this is going to be a good one on tubes as well. I liked it on a very resolving source, and I liked it better on the DCE than the Nunchaku. So I think it's going to be a bit source dependent. So on one minute I'm liking it on tubes, and the other minute I like it on a resolving source. So I think to find the right source for that one, again, it's going to depend on the final tuning. So when I was listening to EDM, I'm a big fan of that. I was listening to Electrified 2 by Yellow. Again, it's too mid-forward for me in the mids. It is really nicely done. But I think I would love to see the EJ07 replacement, the Serenade, to be tuned down in the upper mids by 3-4 dB. Listening to some female vocals, more mid-forwardness is great for female vocals. And I was listening to I Love Yous by Haley Steinfeld. So again, yeah, female vocals come through really nice. They are definitely pushed out front. Too much for me. Punchy bass hits were great. Love that. I think it would be also in the way it is into the this version that people got to hear at Canjam. You would probably say this would be a lower volume set, right? And then what about some jazz, some funny Broadway from Jimmy Smith? Also may not been my favorite for jazz. I had it on the Penon ASOS cable. It was good there. I tried it on the Eros S2 from Effect Audio, and it was just simply too bright for me. So again, this one is going to be cable sensitive, source sensitive. And that's not a bad thing because it just means it's a very resolving IM. So it's given me, it kind of, what did it make me think of it? I thought it had some Canara Verdandi kind of vibes going on with it. That's kind of, I don't know why I thought of that, but when I was listening to it, I kind of had a throwback there. And then I also had the Cadenza 12 there as well. Wow, I love that IM too. It's that's a funny one, in the fact that it doesn't wow people with a very strange and exotic tuning. It's just a phenomenal all-rounder and does music very well. So again, if you get a chance to listen to the Cadenza 12, I encourage you to try that one as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what this Serenade comes out with, this EJ07 replacement in its final form. And some exciting stuff this year. As I just finish up this little blurby video, just wanted to share with you some of the stuff that I got coming down the pipe. I really do have to finish up my review to do that Kai Designs tube hybrid amp. I do love that quite a lot. Yes, I love it a lot. I did something insane, which I thought I'd never do, and I traded away my Soft Ears Twilight for this Aurelius Salehi. It's turning out to be one of my absolute favorite IMs. And then the Canucks Audioholics, KD shared his Empire Ears Triton. And I'm going to do a full review on that too. Another amazing IM. And again, there's some really, those two are kind of bass fives, right? Have a ton of bass and high-end fidelity as well. So those are coming out, and some cheapies again. So I'm throwing it all over the board here. And I just wanted to have this video out, let you know I'm having fun listening to stuff, and my thanks to the boys. And everyone who's helping me out on the channel. And I'm just enjoying life, your company, my dog and my family. So everyone take care in these crazy times of the world right now. Stay safe and stay sane, and put some stuff in your ears and have a great listen and enjoy it. So out for now.